Hello, in this video tutorial I'm going to tell you how to use Utture Practice Miro template, but first, why you should consider to start using this template when you are Scrum practitioner. There are two main reasons for that. First of all, if you will be using the Utture Practice regularly, it will guide you in the proper Scrum implementation and you will be doing your role, your accountability in a way as it's described in a Scrum guide. By this, I think you will increase your chances for success. The second reason why you should consider to practice Utture is the sentence which one of the Scrum creators said. He said that Scrum is easy to understand but difficult to master. And by practicing Utture, you will be able to feel, you will experience this, why the Scrum is difficult to master. Right now, let's go to our template in Miroverse. Here we have boards for four accountabilities. We have manager. As you probably know, manager is not mentioned in the Scrum Guide, the newest edition 2020, because the developers should be self-managed. However, I never met organizations without managers, so that's why I decided to add this accountability to the Utture practice. What are the differences between those four accountabilities? If it comes to our boards, uh, generally there are two main differences. Cards, Scrum Compass and Utture cards, which are located here. All those cards are different for each accountability. And there are differences in the fifth level. And as you can see, for product owner, we have even three variants of the fifth level. Those variants, the usage of this variant depends on your organization current capabilities. So right now, I'm going to tell you about Utture Practice in detail, and we will use for that the example which is located here at the top in the Miroverse template. Here we have a short introduction. Here we have voting area. We'll be using this voting area whenever you will be deciding if you want to go to the next level or not. Okay, so let me tell you what we have here in the Miro template. I will be using the board for Scrum Master. Here we have a short introduction, voting area. You will be using this voting area to decide if you want to go for the next level or not. And here we have 5 levels. Each level is in separate frame, as you can see here. And here we have a instruction, what you should do to perform the level. So let's go to the first level. Here we have a name of the level, suggested time box. Suggested means that if you will see that you will need more time, you may adjust to your needs. It basically depends how talkative is your team, how many things you need to discuss. So you may adjust that. Here we have information when you should schedule next Utture practice session. So if you decide to finish the Utture practice round on the level 1, you should schedule next session in a week. The same for week 2, for level 2 in a week. For level, if you decide to finish on the level 3 or 4, then next session should be in a 1 month. If you decide to finish on the 5th level, then you should schedule next session in 3 months. All right, so what you should do on the first level. On the first level, you will have a Utture Practice and Scrum Compass cards dedicated for the Scrum Master here in a pile. So on this level, you need to decide if those accountabilities are Scrum accountabilities or not. And then you need to move them on or choose one column for this, right? If you will do this, then you need to go to the voting area. And all the participants, if you do this with your Scrum colleagues from your organization, or then you need to ask all of them, you need to collectively decide if you want to go for the next level or not. To do that, you need to choose this token and move it on the lane next level or not yet. Here you have some auxiliary items which will tell you, which will help you to make a decision. I don't want to go for the next level because I would like to have a sense of control. I like safety. I like moaning or finding excuses. I want to go for the next level because I want to develop myself. I want to have a purpose. Uh, I feel that I'm courageous. I like to solve problems, right? So that's why I want to go. The reason why there are two cards for next level and two cards for not yet, people are able to choose one of those, and this will give you some kind of information why they made such a choice, right? And you can use it for the discussion. The choice to go for the next level should be done collectively. If even one person will choose not yet, then you have two options. You may leave it as it is and schedule next session of Utture Practice, or you may start a discussion and ask that person what you can do as a team or you as a facilitator or moderator to convince that person to change his or her mind, right? Okay, but let's assume that everybody vote next level. So we go to the level 2. And before you start this level, as a first step, think about other accountabilities, non-Scrum accountabilities you need to perform as a Scrum Master in your organization. Put all of them here, and after that, based on those two columns, choose up to 10 accountabilities you've been performing in the last round. Yes, and the most important ones, in your opinion, put at the top, the less important ones put here at the bottom. Right? And if you have them in a column, then you need to decide how often do you perform those accountabilities. And to do that, you need to drag this accountability on this axis. All right, and that's it. If you will do this, then you need to go to the voting and decide if you want to go for the next level or not. Let's assume that you want to go for the next level. And on this level, think about the actions or outputs of the accountabilities and put them in an appropriate row. Yes, if you will collect all of them, then you need to adjust the accountability card. So for example, this one need to be moved here. And for example, if you would put this here, then you need to drag it here. This exercise maybe looks simple, but when you will be practicing constantly, I'm assure you that it's very difficult. All right. And if you will have that, then voting and you need to go for the next fourth level. On this level, we need to copy those cards. Okay, so we copied the cards from the level 2, those which were not used on the level 3. And from all those cards, please choose up to 3 accountabilities you would like to focus in the next round. Yeah, next round will be 1 month round. So we choose those 2 accountabilities, and if you have them, then do a brainstorm. If you are practicing Utture alone, please invite some colleagues from your organization to help you to find actions you may not figure out by yourself. All right. So do the brainstorming, and after brainstorming, choose up to 2 actions per accountability. Generally, if you will choose just one accountability and you will have one action for the accountability, this is completely fine, because the speed, how fast we are able to implement those actions in your organization depends also on the organization. Some organizations are more reluctant to be changed, so probably you will have to adjust your speed to those capabilities. All right. And of course, after that, voting. You may add those actions to your Scrum team backlog and perform them in the sprints together with the backlog items which are related to the product. But it's up to you. And on the 5th level, if you decide to go for the 5th level, then You cannot go back. And you have to play on this level 3 rounds in a row, so 9 months in total. Earlier, if you, for example, decide to finish on the level 4, next round you may finish on the level even 1 or 2. That's okay. But if you decide to attack the level 5, then you need to be on this level for 3 rounds in a row. In other case, you will lose and you will need to find some Scrum trainer to respawn. All right? So, what you need to do on this level? Please take accountability cards from the level 3, copy them here, and ask your team or other stakeholders to give value points, influence points for each accountability. So how much value they see in those accountabilities, that you performing those accountabilities. Yeah, and they may give you from 1 to 3 points for each accountability. If you sum all those dots, you will get an influence index, and this influence index will be a information for you how influential you are, some kind of a metric you may use to analyze your actions. Thanks for watching, and I wish you a good YouTube practice. Bye bye.